Toulouse gather in a huddle down there to try and dissect exactly where that one got away from them. But ultimately, this was Leinster at their clinical and ruthless best. The 2 yellow cards punished in incredible fashion. The lack of discipline from Toulouse proving very costly. And the forwards in terms of the tries, Leinster delivered in a big way. 2 for Coghlan, Van der Fleer, Jenkins and Sheehan also on the mark. For Toulouse coming here, they leave with 22 points. That was never going to be enough really. They needed more on the board as Leinster go over 40 and book their place in a Champions Cup final. They'll sit down tomorrow and find out, will it be Exeter Chiefs or their recent nemesis again, La Rochelle. Big weeks to come for Leinster as Johnny Sexton offers his congratulations all round. It is very much the day of Leo Cullen's men in this heavy-hitting European Cup semi-final. They've come out on top by 41 points to 22.
It's so dangerous.
Des, Donal, thank you. And look, back-to-back finals for Leinster. You can look at the faces of these players as they make their way off the pitch, Jerry. The second half maybe a little bit flatter than the first, but thoroughly deserved by this Leinster team.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal performance from Leinster. I was disappointed when Barassi went off. You see the change where you get like the player we were speaking about from the Toulouse team the most was Antoine Dupont, who's the best player, probably the best player in the world. And to take him out of the position where he's going to be touching the ball the most at 9, his favourite position, and move him out into the centre, it made no sense to me. And I think it had a big bearing on the game. Leinster were by far and away the better side, but you'd like to have seen more of a contest, which I felt that Dupont would have helped Toulouse.
And I'm surprised they left it like that. It clearly wasn't working. The Grau was at 9. He was getting caught at the back of the ruck. Dupont wasn't in the game. I'm surprised they didn't change it at some stage. Maybe bring RTÉ on and moving him into centre to put Dupont back in scrum half. I just think took away one of their best players getting on the ball.
It's a pity.
Even then, and you see like who's the best player in the field for Leinster was best player in the field was probably their 9, Gibson-Park. And you know we were speaking about Gibson-Park influence, but like we really wanted to see more of Dupont. But sorry, I'm talking a lot about something that happened in the game because I thought it was going to be a closer contest. But Leinster were phenomenal, well deserved.
To be fair, I think everyone thought this was going to be a closer contest, Jamie.
Yeah, and we were saying off air, you know, say when you're doing your review against a side like Leinster, like when Toulouse could have do this on Monday, you know, the frustrating thing when you look at them, you look at Leinster sometimes, and it doesn't look like they're doing anything particularly magical. What they do is they do their basics super well and make it pretty clean and efficient, and that's the hard thing. You make a mistake, they punish you.
Yeah, well look, one of the key men as part of that was Jamison Gibson-Park. He is the Heineken star of the match. He's with Claire.
Jamison, congratulations, you are the Heineken star of the match. Jeremy O'Murrough is here to make the presentation.
All the best.
How pleasing is it to come through a game like that, to beat a 5-star team as you've done in a European semi-final?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, eh? Firstly, I just want to thank everyone for coming out. It's a pretty awesome occasion to be playing in front of firstly our fans and then our friends and family as well. So, and thank you to Toulouse as well for the travelling support. It makes for a great spectacle. So, I just want to start there. But to your question, obviously, Toulouse is a team we have a huge amount of respect for. They have 5 stars for a reason, and you have to really prepare well to play them, and I think for the most part we did, and we're obviously chuffed to come away with the result.
I suppose you were clinical and ruthless today when you needed to be. You kind of saw lessons learned from last season maybe?
Yeah, I think we were pretty impressed with our first half performance. We're pretty happy with going in with that kind of lead. A bit patchy in the second half. Obviously the rain came down and made it a little difficult, but yeah, delighted.
Now you're back here next week, but in 3 weeks' time you're back here again with a chance to play for that trophy that you so desperately want. It's a special place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, there's nothing better than coming out and playing in front of our home fans and our friends and family. So obviously we got URC games to take care of first, so we'll get stuck into those. But yeah, it's pretty awesome to be here in the Aviva for sure.
Congratulations, Jamison.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, Leinster are going to be taking up residency in the Aviva for the next few weeks. That man not going to be playing, but that man might play his part once more in the next couple of weeks. We've got plenty more reaction and analysis to come as Leinster book their place in the final straight after this break. Let's hear from the Leinster captain then, James Ryan. He's with Clare.
James, congratulations. Your pack really delivered today. 5 tries. You really showed your power.
Yeah, we're happy enough. Tough game. I'd say probably the toughest game we've played all season. Particularly that first 40 minutes. Like Toulouse, they're probably the best attacking side in Europe, or up there with the best attacking side in Europe. So defensively, it's always such a tough game. So just 1-15 really. More so delighted to be able to test ourselves like that today and to be in a final.
That period you have in the first half and the second half when you had the advantage, you really made it count.
Yeah, and I think we had to because it was a close game, and as you said, there was a window there where we had to make the most of, and we managed it pretty well. So yeah, we're happy with how we managed that. Look, it's a special day. Champions Cup finals, semi-finals are in the Aviva. Knockout games at home, they're always special, and the crowd today were brilliant as well, and they really helped us get over the line.
Yeah, so one more step to come, a final in Dublin. Do you want La Rochelle again or Exeter?
Means no difference. Well, look, at least we can put the feet up tomorrow and watch the games and see how they get on.
Thanks, James.
Okay, thank you.
Makes no difference. I'm sure it does, Jamie, all the same.
I'd say they have been upon it about both sides, so they'll take on whoever. Raj might be more incentivised after what I said before the game, but
He'll be on to anyway.
But either way, it'll be a big challenge for them. But it's dead right; they can put the feet up now and rest, recover. He gave a couple of the usual cliches that he has to do, but I think he was dead right. It's there was a lot of talk coming into this game around them being tested, particularly that front five, and they all stood up and were counted and put an amazing performance in, a ruthless performance in.
So let's hear from the Leinster head coach then. Leo Cullen has been chatting with Clare.
Well, Leo, that must be a semi-final you remember, obviously for all the right reasons. That first half spell really set you up for the win.
There's great intent. Like Toulouse are such a dangerous attacking team, so they were a constant threat. Started the game a million miles an hour, really. It wasn't even that first phase of play, so you could see the intent of both teams, which is great, and that's what makes the competition so special. You can see how much it means to the players. It was pretty tit for tat, but obviously there was the yellow card for them, and then we scored a couple of tries, and we had that bit of separation on the scoreboard. But then Toulouse hit back, and they're always a constant danger. Started the second half again, they were probably on top for that period, and then probably the rain came, thankfully, which made it a little bit harder to play. The lads got the job done in the end. So we're delighted. Just another step along the way. So great to be in the final, which is amazing that it's here in the Aviva, and that's probably the big thing all along, as we talked about during the course of this tournament. So they're trying to navigate the pool stages to try and get home seeding for the knockout games, and now here we are coming to a final in 3 weeks' time.
Was the power of your pack especially pleasing today, and then you add to it a man of the match performance by Jamison Gibson-Park. He's another player in top form.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a tricky period to manage for us. So we sent a group to South Africa, to manage the trip over there, and you're never quite sure what guys coming off a bit of a break. So there's always a little bit of risk in that. So I taught the guys how they apply themselves. That's the players and the backroom team as well, and how they've managed the group over the last few weeks. So huge credit to everybody. So obviously we're back here now next week against the Sharks, which is another exciting challenge, which is very strange. We play a semi-final, have to play a quarter-final the week after.
How are you going to manage this now? It's tricky. I mean, you've done so much right, but there's still a lot to get right if you're chasing on two fronts. How are you going to manage these couple of weeks?
Yeah, and that's the point really, isn't it? Chasing on two fronts, it's hard, really, really hard. We sent a young group to South Africa, and it was a tough result for them against the Bulls. So I don't like that to happen, but it's a great learning experience for those guys for the future, and plus it's given really good game time to other players as well, and some guys have acquitted themselves really well, I thought, on that 2-game tour, so particularly in the Lions game. So we'll see how all the players have come through, get everybody checked over the next couple of days, put a plan together. The Sharks, a team with a ton of international experience, Springbok experience. They have a coach in their ranks as well that knows us very, very well, which is always very dangerous. So it's a great challenge though, isn't it? So we'll try and rest up and recover well, and look forward to being back here next week. But again, just for the crowd is amazing as well, the difference that they make, the support. So big thanks to everyone who turned out this week, and if we got something anywhere close, that'd be amazing there next week as well.
Thanks, Leo.
Thank you. Cheers, Claire.
The big question mark over Leinster, wasn't it? Could they deal with the physicality?
Yeah, well, I think that's probably an area that they came up second best against La Rochelle last year. I think their physicality was excellent today. You see, they got a lot of two-man tackles, one man low, one man going high. It made things a lot easier for them when they were able to match the Toulouse big men carrying on the gain line. And I think that's where a lot of things came off. I thought it was a good piece of analysis by Bernard.
He'll be delighted with you, that's for sure. Fiona, then what about Leo Cullen? What's he thinking about in the next couple of weeks? What do they have to do to win this trophy?
Yeah, I suppose it's about, he'll have to go about the Sharks game first, but then it's about meeting that power game again, and they've the blueprint there, they've the game plan to be able to do it. It's now putting your best foot forward on the day, and I think if they're as ruthless as they were today, because any chance that they got in the 22 as well, they took it, so that's what he's going to be looking for.
They scored 310 points in 7 games. I know James Ryan is saying that was their toughest game today, but if they can score 40 points in every game, it looks pretty easy for them.
Yeah, and they're very, very, scabby when they defending the ball. It's very hard to break them down. I'm laughing at Leo saying they've been in this position a couple of times over the last few years of being able to rotate the squad. To have a squad of 50 odd, 60 odd players, he should be okay in terms of keeping guys fresh coming into the business end of the season, physically anyway, and definitely mentally. So he's just going to have a tough choice of who he picks and what best players he wants to get on the field.
Sophie's choice for Leo Cullen, that is for sure.